my name's Campbell. This is my drawing channel on YouTube where I teach you how to draw. Today I want to do a face and I'm going to show you how to color it in COPIC markers. Now COPIC markers are alcohol markers and you can use any brand of alcohol marker to color this in. We drew this face last week. If you check the eye in the corner of your screen, you can click on that and draw with me if you want to draw it from scratch. So today I'm taking that same drawing and I'm going to be rendering in with COPIC markers like I said. So, I also have a free download. If you want to download this drawing, like you want to literally have the same drawing that I'm working with, just drop me a comment below that says like, I want the face PDF, and I will send you a link that will allow you to download the very same drawing so you can do the same exact drawing, coloring, exercising that I'm doing right now. So I'm all about like making practical steps to getting to be a better drawer, and that means you drawing with me. So go ahead, get the download, meet me at your art table, press play, and we can color this together. All right, I'll see you there. So I'm using the exact face download that I made available to you all, but I want to actually make sure it's on the right paper, and I have links in the description box to the paper that I love. It's super cheap and it's amazing for alcohol marker drawings. And the first thing I need to do then is transfer her onto my special paper that I use. And so I'm using transfer paper by Arteza. It's awesome. It's literally the best stuff that I've used. So if you put it black side down and then you put your cardstock underneath, you can just use a nice pointy ballpoint pen, trace over the PDF that you can get from me, and then it will transfer the entire face onto the right paper. Having the right paper is kind of everything, and I should have said that in the intro, but that's why I'm making sure that you understand right now how important it is to do this on the right paper. So the link to the paper in the description box is actually Hammermill. It's actually almost exactly like Bristol. So if you have Bristol, that's awesome, but this paper that I'm using is cheaper and it's exactly equivalent to a Bristol like cardstock paper, just so you know kind of what I'm using. So then I'm using my fine liner, and this is a COPIC fine liner, but you can use a Sharpie. Sharpie are alcohol markers too, so you can use Sharpies if you want to. And I'm just outlining the entire face as you see, and then we're going to get ready to color her in with Copics. So what I like to do for everything that I'm coloring in, no matter if it's a dog or a face or a tree, I like to swatch out 3 colors in every value. So if I'm doing a tree, I would do 3 shades of green for the leaves, and I would do 3 shades of brown for the trunk. So in this one, I'm doing 3 shades of purple for the hair and 3 shades of color for the skin tone. So that gives a really nice dimension to your drawings. And that's the same holds true, by the way, if you're using graphite. You want to use 3 values at the least. Now I'm using my shading guide, which is page 55 from my book, How to Draw Fun Fab Faces. That gives you ideas of how to do your shading and where to do your shading. If you would like the shading guide, you may request that too. Just leave me a comment below that says you would like the shading guide. So you first do, I do 1 layer in the lightest color for everything. So I'm doing my lightest value in the hair, and I'm doing my lightest value for the face, and you kind of go everywhere. Now I'm using, excuse my crazy hair, now I'm using the particular lighting source on the shading guide. So the light's coming in on the left hand side, which is leaving a nice highlight on one part of the face. So I'm also making the hair highlighted. So to do this, I'm coming in with my second layer, which is my medium value marker, and I'm going over the first layer that I did, but I'm leaving more of the first layer exposed. So I'm doing the roots and the tips only, leaving the first layer exposed like I said, and then that way it's like a nice bright white highlighted area in the middle. This is the same color. It always looks a little bit darker if you do 2 layers. That's fine. So there's the shading guide. You can see the exact one I'm using there is the top right. So now I'm going in with the second layer, which is the second darkest skin tone color of the three, and I'm using my shading guide to help direct me where that shading needs to go. I'm literally just copying the same thing. Now, every time I add in a darker color, you make the area that you're coloring in smaller than the first area. Okay, so when I do the third coat, you'll see it's a smaller area than the second coat. And so that way you're always leaving exposed. It helps blend and make a seamless transition between the areas. Now, if you notice, I'm keeping, all right, so I'm going in with the roots and tips again with the darkest third layer. And again, I'm leaving more and more of the first two layers exposed, and that helps tie them all together. And as you can see, I like the streak marks of the Copics in her hair. So I'm very intentionally leaving them so you can see the brush marks using the brush nib to leave those, and it leaves like a hair like strand effect. When I colored in her face, I was doing swirly motions, so you don't get those same very vertical stripes in her face. And so all you need to do is move quickly and just make sure you're kind of doing small circles when you're coloring the skin color in versus these strands like strokes, because it almost is like a paint, the alcohol markers, and it will leave the streaks as you create them. So I don't do the circular motions on the shading because I prefer like a graphic look to my girls. But if you didn't want to have the stripy look on this layer of her shading, you could just do the same exact shading, but just make more, again, circular motions with your markers. This is just happens to be my style that I like, but you can do it the way you like. So again, I'm doing at least 2, preferably 3 colors, but I'm keeping this pretty simple. So I'm doing 2 colors of green in her eyes, and I do end up doing 2 colors on her lips as well. If I was really going gangbusters, I should have the third value in there. And notice I'm keeping a little bit of white, so you can add white highlights back in on your drawings using a paint marker, and you'll see I'll do that for her eyes, but you can also just leave the white of the paper exposed. That's super fun. I'm doing a very dramatic eyelashes today with just doing one big swath of Copic marker for her big eyelashes. I've never done it before. It was super lovely. It was very daring and dangerous, but I love the final look, so I'm super happy with it. I just rimmed her eyes with a little gray, added the white highlights in her eyes with a white paint marker, and I never do backgrounds for my Fun Fab girls. So today I was just doing a very bold graphic look using a Copic marker. And again, I like the edgy streakiness here, so I'm leaving it very intentional to give her a big, bold graphic look and offset her against her soft highlighted hair look. So it's nice to contrast the different looks together. I hope you learned tons. And on the end screen here, you can click the playlist right here in the rectangle, and that will lead you some more Copic lessons that I have here on YouTube. And I will see you again next week.